Number 10, create a client incentive plan. What I mean by this, now this is not a client referral plan. This is a client incentive plan that basically says, listen, if they sign up for a specific program at a specific time, they will have incentives, either discounts and or bonuses that are only available to current clients or past clients if you want to offer it to them as well. Perhaps they get a 20% discount if they purchase coaching services 6 months in advance. Perhaps they get a 10% discount if they purchase bulk coaching sessions in advance. Maybe they receive special incentives because they are not only a coaching client, but they've also purchased additional programs from you. Maybe you offer them bonuses as in free trainings because they became a coaching client or because they've purchased multiple times from you. This is also something that I have used in my businesses over and over and over again. Listen, I reward people for investing their money in my services and my products and my programs. The bottom line is I am here to be of service. I'm here to help them achieve their goals, but I also want to make it a no-brainer. I want to reward people who come back time and time and time again, and I make sure that I go out of my way to create incentives that are not available anywhere else for anyone else except for paying clients and except for paying clients who purchase multiple times. Number 11, offer pre-sale spots in an upcoming program. Again, I'm not teaching you anything I haven't used in my own business time and time and time again. This is one of those offers that works every single time I do it. Now, I can do this on demand whenever I desire it or require it. So sometimes I'll offer, say, 5 spots in an upcoming program. Other times I'll completely open it up and offer 25 to 50. And these pre-sale spots are basically incentives for purchasing before the official launch of a product or a program. It's very simple, very straightforward. You simply need to give them the details of the program in a way that allows them to decide whether or not an investment would be a wise decision for them. Remember, you're not here to sell benefits. You're here to help them understand what they receive in the program in the way that it helps them to create the results that they're looking for. So oftentimes when I offer pre-sale spots in an upcoming program, I know I'm going to deliver value. That is not a question. What may be a question is when specifically I'm going to release it and how many spots are ultimately going to be available, and what the official launch price will be, and honestly, how it's all going to be broken down. What I do is provide them with information. Hey, this is an issue that I know you're struggling with. I see it in the community. I see it with other women, solopreneurs. Let's say, for instance, let's just use marketing as an example, right? People don't always know what to say in their marketing, and they often struggle with, say, what to say in their Facebook posts. Now, if this is something that I know I can help them create positive change that results in boosted sales and greater community engagement, I can simply offer pre-sale, and I'm using air quotes here, I can simply offer pre-sale spots in a program that I know I have a general idea of what I'm going to offer and how I'm going to help them get results. But I'm not anywhere near being in a place where I have a completed sales page or a professionally written sales page or automated funnels set up around my offer. This is also a factor that I used in creating my first 40K month. I sold spots in an exclusive program that was high end, and I sold 3 of those spots ahead of time, and that generated right there over $6,000. It was a brilliant move. Now, I want to just give you a piece of, of caution here, and that is, listen, you need to know that whatever you price your offer at, you are going to deliver more in value than they are investing. Now, that was the first time I had ever sold pre-sale spots in a high-end program. It's an unusual thing to do, and I would not recommend it for someone who's just beginning. But I've been a coach since 2008. I've been an entrepreneur for 25 years. I know what I know, and I know that I can help specific people solve specific problems. So for me, it worked. But for you, I might recommend something like offering pre-sale spots in a $97 course or a $197 course. Make sure that you understand that you know you can deliver more value than they invest. This is important because this is your reputation, this is your brand, this is your brand at stake. This is an important piece of the equation. You have to make sure that you know you can deliver value. And listen, if you don't know for sure that you can deliver value, then offer 20 pre-sale spots at $47. And just know that your goal is to provide them with, say, $197 worth of value, which for a lot of people is much easier to comprehend and translate into specific program offers as opposed to pre-saling spots in a high-end program. That, I would say, is reserved for advanced entrepreneurs. Number 12, show up and lead by example in group memberships. Remember when I mentioned earlier, back in August of 2014, listen, I was just sort of rolling along in my business. I was really actually in a rut. I loved the women that I worked with, but I felt like there was something else available to me. I felt like the next level was beginning to birth itself in me. I just didn't know quite where to go, but I knew that I needed to make more money. So I started boosting my business. And one of the ways that I had to go from an unknown coach, listen, I'm a great coach and I know how to help people, and my clients, I have a solid track record of clients who get results. That's great, but I've typically been a small community kind of gal. I'm not one of those gals that you see everywhere. I sort of had a very small clique or a niche where very few people actually knew who I was. So to go from an unknown, someone who was making, at the time, I was just, getting by on $2,000 a month, and to go to the numbers that I needed to get to, which was initially 6 figures and then on to 7, I knew that I had to start showing up. And the best way that I found to do that was to start by the groups and the memberships and the masterminds that I was already a member of. And I didn't even honestly realize how many resources I actually had right in front of me. And they were opportunities for me not to sell programs to my mastermind sisters, but to start showing up as a leader inside my group. Start showing up and sharing information that was valuable and led by example. Now, once I started implementing this tip that I'm sharing with you here, it was amazing. Colleagues started hiring me as their coach. Now, this had never happened before, but when I needed to go from 2K months to 10K months, I knew I had to get in front of more people because no one knew who I was. And the places where I started were the masterminds and the forums and the Facebook groups where I was a member of a program or a coaching program or some past product that I purchased. Now, again, here's what's important. Your job is to show up in those groups that you have directly accessible to you, not from a place of selling, which I will mention for most Facebook groups that are memberships and masterminds, there actually is no self-promotion allowed. So you can't do that anyway, or you'll risk getting kicked out of the group. I wasn't selling anything. I was simply showing up and leading by example. I was focusing on my strengths. I was focusing on creating real results in my life and in my business, utilizing the tools in those memberships and masterminds that I was given, and then I would simply share my wins or share additional insights that I found applying those principles. That got me visible to hundreds, actually thousands of people who all know me now, but didn't know me before. Because I'm an introvert and I typically like to remain behind the scenes, and I didn't even realize how behind the scenes I was until I went to grow my business back into a six-figure business, and I really had to utilize all of my resources to make that happen quickly. This has been one of the most powerful principles that I still use today. If I purchase a product, program, or work in a group coaching program or with a private coach who has a private Facebook group, I consistently still apply this principle, and I consistently still receive clients who are actually colleagues. It's brilliant. And again, I'm not selling anything. I'm simply showing up and leading by example. Number 13, show up consistently in other people's Facebook groups. This is something that actually a lot of people talk about. And to be honest, I knew Facebook groups were going to be huge. In fact, I even created a little mini training for my community, and I posted it on my blog back in 2013, long before groups were actually a thing, because now they are a thing. And maybe you belong to 60 groups and you're rarely in any of them. But I will say, from personal experience and professional application, being consistently visible inside other people's Facebook groups, again, your job is not to sell them anything. Your job is to deliver value, however you can do that. And I suggest focusing on your strengths and focus on creating results, and then share what you did inside other people's Facebook groups. Again, you're not there to take their clients. You're not there to sell anyone anything. You are participating as a valuable member of the community with consideration for the Facebook host, for the group host, as well as consideration for the women in the group, because no one likes to be sold to, and we can all spot it from a million miles away. That's not what you're here to do. You just want to engage with them, get to know them. And eventually it leads to things like, hey, I've been watching your posts and what you're doing is really interesting. Can we meet up for, virtual coffee? I will always answer yes. If somebody says, hey, I'm watching what you're doing, I just thought it's cool. Can we meet up for virtual coffee? I always say yes, because I never, ever, ever cut off a potential lead or a potential opportunity or a connection with someone that at some point may even turn into a best friend. I just don't know. So just show up consistently, deliver value, contribute, participate, and everything will unfold after that naturally and organically. Number 14. Lead your own Facebook group. This is important, and this was another one of those aha, I get it where I'm not showing up sort of moments that I had back in August of 2014 when I wanted to go from 2K months to 10K months. Because I had zero visibility and because I was pretty much a behind the scenes gal, no one knew who I was and no one trusted me enough to invest, $5,000 or more in a coach. They had no clue who she was. And I realized I had 2 Facebook groups at the time and I wasn't using either one of them. I would go weeks without even connecting with the people who were in there. I had essentially abandoned them and I had not shown up as a leader. This is important, and that's why I put lead in asterisks, because this is really about stepping into a leadership role. You have to get yourself to a place where you are leading by example, you are setting the tone and the energy of the group, because we all know what it feels like to have a group or post in a group and nobody responds, or nobody's active, or nobody pays any attention. We know what that feels like, right? And I'm here to say that a lot of that energy that gets groups to be interactive and supportive is by you showing up as a leader. And leaders take on additional responsibility for setting the tone, raising the vibration, encouraging interaction, encouraging group support between members. You have to take that responsibility on. And if you're not ready to do that or willing to do it, then close your Facebook group. It's better it's better to close a Facebook group that you are not interested in leading than it is to just let it sit there without giving them any attention or support, okay? Number 15. Create a free social media challenge. Now, challenges are a great thing, and I actually led my first challenge back in 2013. It was actually through Facebook, and it was one of the best things I've ever done. And although I only had a small group of women participating, I saw an opportunity. And I've run challenges several times per year ever since then. I mean, these days, challenges are one of the easiest ways to get people in your funnel, in your community, and build up the know, like, trust factor and make an offer at the end of your challenge. If you are accessible or interested or can easily interact with your community on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or Pinterest, any of those platforms are a great social media challenge platform because you can communicate and interact directly with your people virtually. And once they get into your space, they can get a vibe for you and they can pick up free content and they can make their own judgments about it and apply the information and create results and then decide whether or not they want to sign up for your offer. For me personally, challenges have been one of those things that I've just done very easily. It's organic for me. It's very natural for me to say, hey, come on in, join the 10-day cash flow challenge. Let's, raise your money mojo. Let's get you making more money. It's free. I mean, there's really nothing to lose, right? Now, you can also do paid challenges, and you can also do challenges that involve using hashtags and or retweeting, reposting, sharing, right? That can really go a long way and build massive momentum behind your brand and get you more people in your community and more paying clients. I highly recommend it. Just leverage social media. It's a free platform, and there are a million different ways that you can run a challenge in a way that works best for you. And again, expands your community and brings in more paying clients. Number 16, partner up. I say that, partner up for a JV promotion swap. What I mean by this is, I'll give you an example. I happen to be a guest expert in Elena Lipson's Divine Self-Care Circle. And we often, once or twice a year, will swap promotions, which means I'll promote her Divine Self-Care Circle, which is a brilliant, magical, supportive, healing environment. And if you want more information about it, just go to Elena Lipson just go to elenalipson.com and then look for information on her Divine Self-Care Circle. But really, once or twice a year, Elena and I will meet up and we will organize a promotion swap. And I'll promote her Divine Self-Care Circle, and then she'll help me promote one of my programs, or we'll do it vice versa. And I've done this actually with a couple of people that I adore. And I would actually recommend, listen, you don't want to do JV promotions with people that you're not in love with. You want to do very select JV promotion swaps with people that you adore, people who put out quality information, people who provide quality service to your people, because it matters who you refer your people, your community to. It matters. And I know that that's a quality and a core value that Elena and I both share. We both share this deep desire to provide quality to our community. And that's one of the reasons why we work so well together for this JV promotion swap once or twice a year. It's great. We both get the benefit of taking time out of our busy schedules to connect on a friend basis. And then we also get the benefit of enjoying the process of getting excited for each other and sharing what we love about the other's programs, and then telling our community about it. Not to mention, the sales or the affiliate commissions is always a welcome burst to your cash flow. Number 17, offer interviews and free content to aligned partners. Again, I'm not teaching you anything I would not apply in my own business. And I also teach these same strategies to my clients, and they get results from these too. So I want you to know that in August of 2014, when I decided, listen, I have to rejuvenate my business. I have to rejuvenate and tap into my passion and my life's mission. I've got to get my business from 2K months to 100K a year at least, and quickly. One of the things that I decided to do was give away free content. And I basically said to anyone who asked me for an interview, I said yes. I said yes to every single one of them in the beginning. And then once I got some footing, and I think over the last 2 years I lost count. I think I've done, I don't know, close to 35 interviews, maybe even 40. Guest appearances, guest experts, in podcasts. Listen, I just opened up the doors, and I basically allowed myself to feel good about giving away free content. I really wasn't worried about the cash flow. I just needed to get in front of more people who needed what I had to offer. And this is one of the best ways to do it, because anyone who runs a blog, and anyone who runs a blog that is massively popular and requires mass amounts of content will need content and will be looking for you to provide content to their blog. Anyone who runs a podcast will be looking for people to interview. These are free opportunities for you to provide, number one, provide people with value. Always lead with that foot. Number one, my number one priority is simply helping people. My number one priority is simply providing value. Make that your driving force. Number two, through that free content or interview or guest appearance, you will be able to make an offer. Now, that will be the result of you giving your time and your expertise and and authentically delivering value that people can apply and get results from, your sales from your offer, whether or not you drive them to a free funnel, a free training, which I always did. Listen, I just wanted to give them value and get them in my community. It was up to me after that to build the relationship with them and then to make subsequent offers that would result in a sale. That wasn't the responsibility of the person that I was providing value to. I always sent them to a free resource that they had to opt in for. So not only did I get in front of thousands of potential clients, but I also built my list. I also got people in my funnels and in my community, and then I simply built the relationship from there. I worried about the sale later. I just wanted to deliver value and get in front of people so that they knew who I was, so they heard my voice, so they saw my picture, so that they went to my website. That is all I was concerned about doing. Now, I will add one thing that you want to take into consideration is that these need to be aligned partners. Now, nobody does the same thing in the exact same way, and we all have unique contributions to this world. But what I do want to recommend is to align with people who are not necessarily competitors, right? Coaches who do the exact same thing that you do. But I would actually recommend aligning with people who can send you referrals or send you subscribers who would want or need your services. Now, to date, I haven't done any interviews or guest expert appearances with other coaches. They've all been some other aligned partner, right? Like a VA or someone who teaches, money healing or something like that. It's not exactly the same thing that I do. They are aligned partners that have people in their community who have needs or wants that cannot be met by them, but might be able to be met by me. I hope that makes sense. Number 18. Offer to be a guest expert or special guest teacher. This is something that I am always keeping my eye out for. If I see a program where I might be able to contribute some value, I will either reach out to that person and say, hey, I saw your program. It looks great. I noticed you didn't have any experts for money mindset. This actually happens to be one of my genius zones. I'd love to contribute valuable information to your community. Is there a way that we can meet on the phone to discuss a possible alignment? It'll take like 10 minutes. And, send me to your online scheduling tool if you need me to go through that. I make it as easy as possible because I don't, number one, want to sound pitchy, and number two, I don't want to seem hungry for the sales. And the truth is, I'm not hungry for the sale. My driving force is always, how can I be of value to people? Now, I know who my people are, and I know where I can reach more of them. And if appearing as a guest expert or a special one-time guest partner or teacher or appearance can help me get in front of thousands of more people who could potentially be paying clients, then I'm going to do it. And I am constantly watching for opportunities where that's concerned, always. Listen, you can't do this alone. I've already said that. You cannot do this alone. You have to leverage other people's communities to get in front of more people. You have to. Number 19. Co-create a dual offer that both businesses can promote, that can be cross-sold. So what do I mean by this? Co-create a dual offer that is cross-sold. This is actually something that I did last year with a friend of mine, Natalie Marie Collins. She's a creative and an essential oils gal and sort of holistic health gal, and I adore her. We've been friends for a couple of years now. We originally met on Facebook. And one of the things that I loved about her was that she created a creative business planner. And the great thing about this business planner is that it's all hand drawn. She's got this cute sort of like whimsical way of creating artwork, and she created an entire planner. It's like 229 pages. She created this cute like whimsical planner for creatives to plan out their year and to keep track and of their progress and their achievements. Well, I loved the planner, and I reached out to her and said, we should totally do a class together. We can record it. You can post it on your website. I'll post it on my website. We can, if you want to sell the training, you can. But what I'm going to do on my end is sell the training and then refer people to your planner so that they can purchase it. And she was like, that's great. Let's go ahead and do it. We had the best time. We recorded, I think, almost a 2-hour workshop. We had so much fun because we were talking about the planner and she was getting excited and I was getting excited because it's a really fun planner. So once I recorded the workshop, I put the workshop in my store and I sold that workshop that not only generated a dual income for both of us because I sent her 50% of every sale, but it also provided additional driving traffic to her planner sales, which she sells through Amazon. So it was perfect, right? We had fun. I had this opportunity to connect with a friend of mine. We had a great time on the workshop. I simply recorded it, put it in my store, and for every sale, I just sent her 50%. Now, we are itching at the bit to do another one of these cross promotions because they were really so much fun. So my recommendation is this: just align with someone that you have fun with, align with someone that you like spending time with, and figure out a way for you to, cross sell a product that both of you participate in. It's a super easy way. And listen, you can sell that thing for an entire year or a couple of years. Listen, it could potentially drive massive traffic. So why not have fun, connect with your business sisters, and make money at the same time?